And that, class, brings us to the end of third grade spelling for this semester. I know we're all anxious to start our summer vacations, so I have just these two more things to say. First, I want to thank you for being such a wonderful little class. Now, it makes me very happy to tell you that every student in this room has successfully passed. Class dismissed. Yes, Tommy, what is it? I said everyone passed, and that includes you, too. Tommy? Tommy? Airport, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Attention all passengers bearing Cuba tour tickets. Flight 604 is now loading at gate 3. All passengers aboard, please. Cuba tour flight 604 now loading at gate 3.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, and welcome to Varadero, Cuba. All arriving passengers come directly to customs counter number 1. I repeat, all passengers come directly to customs counter number 1.
We're right behind you.
To the Internacional, please.
Si, señorita.
Welcome to the Hotel Varadero Internacional.
Thank you.
Your room number will be 215. Front, please.
Thank you.
Would you please?
Ah,
Yes.
Julio, my
old friend Julio.
What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a girl. The Venus de Milo. Did she register?
I think I haven't here yet. Do you think it is the one?
Bradley. Catherine Bradley. What room number?
She's on 215.
Ah, muchas gracias, mi amigo. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Come in.
Compliment of the manager, señorita.
How nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my friend. Muchas gracias, amigo.
De nada, señor.
Please. Please, don't move. Don't say a word. Just as you are. That's it. I confess that in the heat of the sun, I wasn't sure, but by all the stars of the Varadero sky, it's true. It's impossible, but it's true.
What?
Your face, it's like the Venus de Milo.
Well, thank you, but...
I'm sorry. I know you're not quite at home yet. Allow me. It will only take a second. Here at the Internationale, the days are warm, the nights are cool. Closet space is large and airy. Every room has a shower and a tub, all first-rate American plumbing. Everything your heart desires is as near as your telephone or your balcony. Behold, the paradise of Varadero.
Just who are you? A social director?
No. I'm Mike Marino. The Mike's for Michelangelo. I'm an artist, a painter by temperament, an illustrator of dime novels by necessity. Just an unglamorous American from San Francisco. Now you know the whole ugly truth.
And those serenaders?
The luck of the Venus de Milo.
And those drinks?
Ah, los Daiquiris. I'm afraid I can't even claim credit for this charming gesture. You'll have to thank the management. It's a tradition when guests arrive. But I'm sure that the management would never knowingly permit the Venus de Milo to sip her drink in solitude.
Thank you. Mr. Michelangelo.
Oh, just call me Mike. Miss Bradley?
Kathy.
Kathy, huh? And that's how it was that I first came to meet Kathy Bradley. I remember the next morning we planned to swim in the hotel pool before breakfast. The world was a rich and wonderful place that morning. The water was cool and clear. The air was filled with the scent of flowers, and Kathy's presence put the magic touch to everything. I learned that Kathy was from Cleveland, a school teacher on 2-week vacation before the start of the summer session. We kidded about school teachers on vacation with their guidebooks and dictionaries, and artists on the lookout for wealthy widow patrons, and about how the summer romance had become an American institution. We laughed and loafed and soaked up the sun, and slowly, without strain, without care, we became friends. We approached breakfast that first day, leisurely and late, feasting on papaya and pineapple and mangoes and a fabulous view from our seaside patio table. And we laughed together at the thought of sharing such enormous appetites. Oh yes, I remember we were still lingering over our Cuban coffee when little Juanito, the boy with the shellwork souvenirs, introduced me to a new and fascinating phase of Kathy Bradley's charm. I caught the first glimpse of it in the way Juanito smiled. Not at all like the clever little peddler I knew him to be, but openly, out of some immediate friendly understanding between Kathy and the boy. She seemed to be wearing a kind of kids always welcome sign that could be read in any language. It was strange and wonderful to watch, and my admiration of Kathy deepened. Wise little Juanito sold his necklace of shells, and Kathy had found a new little friend who reminded her of another.
Did you see those eyes? He reminds me of little Tommy.
Tommy? Who's Tommy?
One of my students last semester. He gave me this on the last day of school.
Dear teacher, I love you forever, Tommy. Now there's what I'd call a very sensible young student.
He was just thanking me.
I know. So was I.
That afternoon, I coaxed Kathy into posing for some sketches, and we loafed away the day on the terrace. Then it dawned on me that Kathy might appreciate my favorite view of Varadero, from high on the hotel roof. I remember I helped her up on the wall and looked out across the blue Caribbean, and we shared for the first time my special ivory tower view. And that's when it was, I think, that I fell in love with Kathy Bradley. We lingered a long time on the roof and watched the slow, still coming of dusk. It rose up out of the valley of the sea, growing into night. And I knew that we must celebrate. The open-air nightclub in the village was a new experience for Kathy. She loved the music and the people and the starry Cuban night. And that was the first of many happy Kathy and Mike celebrations. That first week was filled with a lifetime of happy hours. We tackled tennis in the mornings and spent a wonderful day on the water. And set a new all-time high for the 9th hole on the hotel course. And every afternoon we went to worship Old Sol on the golden beach that blessed the shore of Varadero. The cool crystal waters of the Caribbean were an invitation we could never resist, and our favorite ritual for getting wet with a splash had guaranteed results. No two lovers ever had a sunnier, happier, more perfect time together than those hours we shared that first week in paradise. We had the sun and the sand and always each other. And then there was Kathy's quick, candid laughter. It was girlish and tender, like water music and children's kisses, like something I'd heard in a dream. You have the usual?
Dos Daiquiris, por favor.
Good. In Cuba, they call them ojos lindos,
What?
beautiful eyes. Why so pensive?
Don't be silly.
Gracias. To Tommy,
To Mike.
to all of us. All time and trouble was forgotten under the spell of paradise, and the days slipped by in a happy stream of pleasure. We spent time together in the village. We took long walks on the beach and watched the skillful native fishermen. We toured the countryside on ponyback and sometimes didn't stay on schedule. We looked for gifts in one of Cuba's famous shops and didn't have to travel further than a step across the hotel lobby. And Kathy remained the unchallenged champ of the Cuban shuffleboard circuit. All too soon, time played its eternal trick.